Hi everyone, welcome to the 10-week Guide My Wellness course. Week 4, Routines for Sleep and Rest.
Hi, I'm Laura Lake, and that was my 6-year-old daughter, Sidoni. She just wanted to introduce you to this week's course where we will cover setting up routines for sleep and rest. Foundation. So why do we care about sleep and rest? Some of us have trouble getting to sleep, or maybe staying asleep, or getting so many hours of sleep. Other people snore, or they have sleep apnea. Most of us want to feel rested and energetic when we get up in the morning. And then if you're anything like me, you get brain fog or you have poor memory when you're not sleeping. Some people experience aches and stiffness, and not sleeping actually really increases your risk for diseases. So if you remember a couple weeks ago, we went over the bed mass of wellness. Well, B, again, is for bed plus rest. And bed stands for unconscious sleep and naps that you may have during the day. And by doing so, we can learn better. It heals our body and it detoxes our brain. Resting is both mental and physical, and it promotes relaxation, it refreshes the mind and body, and it helps us recover. Benefits of sleep. So why do we need sleep? There are so many benefits to sleep, and I'm not going to cover them all in the beta course. But what I would like is for you to tell me some of the benefits that you get when you have a wonderful night's sleep. So what is a good night's sleep, and how do I know if I'm sleeping well? Well, there are 6 key points I'm going to cover in this slide. The first one is it should take you about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20, to fall asleep after you lay down. Most adults should sleep for about 7 to 9 hours total sleep in a 24-hour period. Next, it's not just about getting to sleep, it's also about staying asleep. So it's the continuous sleep, and when we do wake up in the middle of the night, it's also about how quickly we can fall asleep. Next is feeling refreshed. So have you ever woken up in the morning and not felt energized? Or have you woken up and actually felt rested? Then there's being awake and alert. So we all know about that mid-afternoon crash. But when you get a good night's sleep, you have focus and energy to actually get you through the day. The last one is behavior. So it's regular breathing and very little movement during your sleep. Some people have what's called restless leg syndrome, so they're constantly moving or twitching, and other people have breathing problems, so you'll hear things like snoring, or they might need a sleep apnea machine. So what affects how quickly I fall asleep? Well, the first one is your circadian rhythm. It's the 24-hour body clock based on light-dark cycles with the sun. Number 2 is our environment. This is where we touch on all 5 of our senses. So things we feel, hear, smell, touch, and taste. Things like temperature and textures. Maybe there's some scents or different lighting. Sometimes there's movement, sound, or maybe even you wear an oral or facial device. Number 3, the relaxed state. So it's mental and physical relaxation. Some people like to slip into an autopilot so that they don't get anxious over sleeping. So what are some of the routines that we can put in place to help us fall asleep faster? Number 1 is to set your circadian clock. This means sticking to a schedule. So this shown here is my everyday schedule. And if I do change it, it's only changed to a maximum of an hour. So at 6 o'clock to 6:30, this is when I wake up, most of the time on my own, sometimes by my alarm clock. And when I wake up, I make sure to open my curtains or turn on my light so that I am bombarded with bright light saying, wake up, it's the beginning of the day. Then around 9:30, quarter after 9, I turn off my technology, including my phone, my TV, the computer, and I avoid blue light. I don't drink coffee, so I don't have to worry about that. And I go to bed around quarter after 10, and I fall asleep around 10:30. This leaves me 5 90-minute sleep cycles. Now, if your sleep cycles are a little bit longer than 90 minutes, let's say they're 100 minutes or maybe 110, just make sure that you adjust the total amount of time needed to sleep to cover the length of your sleep cycles. Now, this one is one of my favorites. Number 2 is to set up your environment. I'm a little biased. This is also my other specialty. So the first thing to do is to get rid of distractions. This includes people or pets that may be distracting you or any work that you're bringing into the bedroom. Limit device use to approximately 1 hour before bed. If you're even more susceptible to the light or maybe the EMFs, try about an hour and a half to 2 hours before bed. Lower lighting as the sun goes down. So if you're seeing the sunset, now is a great time to have side lamps or maybe even candles in the evening. Keep your room cool, quiet, and dark. So if you don't have blinds or curtains on your windows, now's a good time to start. And turning down your thermostat will not only help you save money on your heating costs, but it will also keep the room cool so your body temperature goes down. Use clean and comfortable bedding. So in this picture, it shows various sheets and pillows. Whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable, for the amount of pillows and your mattress, your furniture, make sure everything's clean and washed at least weekly. The last one is avoid EMFs. Now, EMFs are electromagnetic fields, and this comes from receptacles, maybe your lamps, your phones nearby, an alarm clock, anything that has electricity running to or from it. By setting up your environment properly, it'll help keep you calm and relaxed. It'll improve your health, but yet stay functional, just as long as we keep it for sleep and intimacy. There are 4 stages of sleep, which we will cover in the full course. So I have some cute little pictures for you to look at as we're scrolling through. Now there are some common issues for broken and restless sleep, which again I will cover in the full course, but I'd love to know what kind of problems you may be having. And then again, the benefits of rest. So we did talk about sleep, and now we're going to talk about rest. So why do we need rest? Well, there are many reasons we need rest. Most of them we'll cover in the full course. Some of the benefits of rest are to refocus or recharge. We get caught up in whatever it is that we're doing, and we just need a minute to rest our mind or our body. I'll expand more on rest only in the full course. Finding help. So there are many different ways that you can find help for both your sleep issues as well as trying to find rest. So the first thing you need to do is talk to your healthcare team. And what I mean by that is your GP or your general practitioner. Maybe you have a massage therapist or a naturopath, but there should be a group of healthcare professionals that make up your healthcare team. Besides your team, I'm going to give you some online resources as well as things that have helped me in the past. Welcome to the worksheet review. It's that time again, yes. So question number 1 is probably going to be the same for the rest of the course. And it says, complete this week's wellness wheel using your improved knowledge of the bed massive wellness. So here's my wheel this week. B being my bed plus rest is higher this week at 7. E for my emotional health, again, is higher this week at 7. Determine and decide my why, the D is the same at 7.5. My meals have gone way down. So they used to be at 8, I think they were, and now they're down to 4. My activity is still at 4, and my surroundings have basically been the same. Now I have made a mistake in last week's recording. I copy-pasted my numbers, and the total had said 36 out of 60, and it should have read 34.5 out of 60, because my total number has not changed from last week to this week, but the distribution is different. So what has changed this week compared to last week? So this week I've had no late night commitments, which is great. I'm finally getting to bed at a decent time and not getting home at like 11. I go to bed around 9:30 to 10:30, so 11 is really late for me. Lately, I've been having aha moments, which are those light bulb moments that put those key ideas together. By determine and decide my why, I've been revisiting the reason for some of the choices that I've made, and it just solidifies the foundation of why I do what I've been doing. So M is my worst this week with Halloween and then the play and then HalCon. Oh my god, my eating has been horrible and I'm not even at home a lot. So it's been a lot of takeout or whatever other people fed me as well as Halloween candy. Not a good combination. A's the same, so I've just been walking, but I really need to get back into more exercise. And my surroundings, well, this week I actually walked on the beach at the park. It was so beautiful. So give and take on that this week. So number 2, complete the timeline with your calculated sleep routine. Now how we do that is we take the time that we need to get up in the morning and we work backwards. So my first one here is I wake up generally on my own at around 6 a.m., but my alarm clock is set for 6:30. Now if I go backwards, so let's say I have 90-minute sleep cycles, and I try to get about 5 of those a night. So I try to get about 5 of those a night. So that means that I should eat supper around 6:30, which is what I do. But then my relaxation time happens at 9:30 because I go to bed at 10:30. So from 10:30 to 6:30 is 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. That is a total of 8 hours. Now if it takes me half an hour to fall asleep, that means I have 7.5 hours before my alarm goes off. But my body tends to like about 7.25 hours, so I'll wake up anytime between 6 and 6:30. So now I want you to document your current and target sleep health. So if we go back to one of the slides where we're talking about what is good sleep, we're just going to list off what our current habits are and what our target is. So right now, it takes me about 30 minutes to fall asleep, whereas it used to take me over an hour. I'm up to about 7 hours sleep regularly. So some nights it's 6.5, some nights it's 7.5, but generally it's about 7 hours sleep. I wake up only up to 2 times now. I feel about 60% refreshed, so I'm just kind of pulling a number out of the air that feels right. And then about 70% focused and energized throughout the day. Now when I do sleep, there's a lot of movement while I'm falling asleep as well as while I'm sleeping. So my target would be to fall asleep in 15 minutes, to have 8 hours sleep a night, and to wake up 0 times, maybe once if the little girl gets up. Of course, we all want to feel 100% refreshed, 100% focused, and have 100% energy all day long. That's the goal. Whether or not it happens is a different story. And the last one is to get to sleep and to be asleep with very little movement. Number 4 I have in 3 different sections, and we're going to do them one at a time. So 4A says, over the next week, fill in the chart and look for patterns. Now if we go down to the chart, it says Thursday through Wednesday, time we woke up versus time we got up, and then time you first get sleepy versus the time you actually went to bed. So if I filled out this chart yesterday, or today, I actually got up at about 20 after 6 this morning, but I didn't get out of bed. Or sorry, I woke up at 20 after 6 this morning, but I didn't get out of bed until 6:30 when the alarm went off. And then, the first time I get sleepy at night tends to be when my daughter goes to bed. So she goes to bed at 7:30 and I leave her room at 8. But I've already done the bedtime routine with her, so it makes me sleepy. And then the time that I went to bed was 10:30 last night. So I guess I should have put that under Monday night. So for B, after you filled in this chart, I want you to look at the chart and ask yourself, are you consistent? So do you consistently wake up at the same time? Do you consistently get up at the same time? Do you consistently get sleepy at the same time? And then if you actually go to bed at the same time. For C, is this when you actually get up and go to sleep? So if you're waking up at a certain time, do you wake up 5 minutes before you get up? Do you wake up an hour before you get up? Or is it somewhere in the middle? And then when you get tired at night, are you actually going to bed at the same time you're getting sleepy? Because some people, or I guess I'm going to say most people, have a short window of time where if they don't go to sleep in that time where they feel tired, they're going to be awake for the next hour, maybe hour and a half. Number 5, which bed mass areas do you need to address first this week? Now I have a little sneak preview of what mine are. As you can see, I've got a picture there of Shalene Johnson, and she is the creator of PIO, which is a Beachbody program. And cough, I'm also a Beachbody coach. Cough, cough. So my answer is meals and activity. I had mentioned that with recent events and holidays, my eating habits have been completely lacking, very irregular, and I've been eating food I'm allergic to. Ah, I know, shame. And I haven't been home to make food either, so I've been eating what other people have been giving me. So activity, walking is still the only exercise I've been keeping up with in the past couple of months, which needs to change. Winter's coming and I'll want to stay indoors, so I'm thinking about doing another round of PIO. Now there's different types of PIO. I'm going to say normal PIO, and then there's the strength version of PIO. So who wants to join me? I'd love for you to join me. And the last one, if you have any questions about sleep, rest, or any of the other weeks that we've covered, don't hesitate to contact me. You can find me in the Facebook event page. You can find me on my Facebook page at Laura Lake Designs with an S. You can find me on Twitter at Laura Lake SD and somewhere on YouTube, but I don't know the exact link. Just look up Laura Lake. This week I want you to find what fits for you. So we were talking about different relaxation techniques, different ways to rest. Find the activities and the things that you like to do. Just because I like to curl up with a fuzzy blanket doesn't mean you like to curl up with a fuzzy blanket. We're all different, so I'd love for you to share what you love. So there's my quote, go curl up with a fuzzy blanket. Who doesn't love a fuzzy blanket? Have a great week, guys. See you next week. Bye.